An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. See if you qualify for Medicare's extra help. It pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extra help. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
What if an appliance emergency didn't have to be? If your appliances suddenly decided they were done, don't stress. Best Buy has you covered with a wide variety of major appliances from trusted brands, in stock and available now. So you don't have to worry about laundry piling up, refilling the fridge, or that big dinner party you're hosting. Because Best Buy has the knowledge and expertise to get you the right appliance for your home. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
Getting ready to step into your career era? Set yourself apart with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Hone your skills with apps like Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and more, powered with the latest in creative AI. Students save over 55% so you can build a portfolio you're proud of. Launch your future with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Visit adobe.com/students to learn more.
Hello, everybody. This is Tony Ruggiero here on the Tour Coach Podcast. I appreciate you joining in. If you haven't listened before, these are my stories from my travels, the people I meet, the coaches, the teachers, the players, mental coaches, wherever it is from around the travels that I have in this game, whether it's from my studio in Mobile, Alabama, all the way down to where I teach mostly at Old Palm, down in Palm Beach Gardens, or out at a live event or a tour event or a Korn Ferry event. But all of it is things that I find interesting, entertaining, and helpful to all of those of you who are wanting to play the game better, teach the game better, and just love the game of golf. Hopefully you'll enjoy what we've got going on here. We've got some exciting stuff coming up for each and every one of you. If you like what you hear on the podcast, you can always find more content as we're kind of spreading our wings, if you will, with Dew Sweepers TV on YouTube. Just go to Dew Sweepers TV on YouTube, and there's links to it in our description. For example, just go on one of those links and please support the Dew Sweepers and support and like our page there on YouTube. And to kick all of this off, we've got a great promotion, a great contest running through Masters Sunday. And if you go onto our YouTube page and subscribe, and on any of the videos in the comments section, you just put hashtag Dew Sweeper TV. That's hashtag Dew Sweeper TV. Or you take a screenshot of this podcast, and on Instagram, you tag me at the Dew Sweeper and hashtag Dew Sweeper TV. We're going to sign you up for a drawing on Monday after the Masters for a set of Srixon irons, ZX 4, 5s, or 7s, 12 gloves of your size, and 12 dozen balls. We're going to do that drawing Monday after the Masters. All you got to do is you can check the links in the description part of this podcast, or for a link to it, go to YouTube TV, type in Dew Sweeper TV, and listen to watch some of the videos, listen to it, put in hashtag Dew Sweeper TV or hashtag Pro Work or hashtag Tour Coach, and you will register for the drawing the Monday after the Masters. That's a set of Srixon irons, 12 dozen gloves your size, 12 dozen Srixon golf balls, all to make you play better. Hopefully you'll enjoy the Tour Coach. We've got great sponsors, as I say, each and every week here on the Tour Coach. Can't forget Buick GMC and McConnell Automotive, my good buddy Mitch McConnell, Visor Skincare, Bushnell Golf, and all of the stuff they've done for us. We got some great Pro Work episodes being filmed and coming up. And, of course, Srixon, Cleveland Golf, and don't forget Taylor Martino and Rowan here in Mobile, and Stokely's Garden Express. I'm Tony Ruggiero. We've got great stuff coming here on the Tour Coach. We got a great contest running through the Masters, chance to win Srixon equipment. Hopefully you'll enjoy my conversations and our roundtables and our discourse on how to improve at the game of golf. I've enjoyed sharing all of it with you. I hope you enjoy it. We've got more coming. All right, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am. Tour Coach. It's the first time I've had this player on one-on-one. We were sitting having tacos tonight. We're going to get into the type of tacos later, and we're going to I've got some serious conversations with him about this, but can't believe we haven't been on one-on-one. But Emilio Gonzalez, Korn Ferry Tour, been with me a long time. How long's it been?
4 or 5 years. 5 years, I think. Yeah, you're right.
Founded at St. Mary's University. Shout out to the St. Mary's University Rattlers there. Special shout out to Thomas Kearney, who's now with Incarnate Word. Was the coach at the time. Had me in to talk to everybody. But anyways, my alma mater. Well, not really my alma mater. I support them. My place I learned to play. But you're on a medical this year, but doing some really good things on the Korn Ferry Tour. Had some really had a great run, a good run. You're doing some good things. You're in town working this weekend. I want to talk a little bit about. I just want to talk about what you think has bred success, and also, like, to me, this will sound hokey, but like you're the happiest I've ever seen you working on your golf game. And I don't know that enough people put a value in that about being happy working on it. And then we're going to get to tacos and hard shells versus soft shells, but that's the end of the show. Tell me, all right, so let's start with that. What's the difference?
Yeah, that's cool that you bring that up as a first point to talk about in this podcast, because we could talk about this for a long time, but just to kind of simplify it, it's been, eye-opening, because I started off the year in a really bad place just because I was putting a lot of pressure on myself and just focusing so much, and nothing really mattered but results, because I'm still in a medical category and nothing's guaranteed, but like the only thing I cared about is results, and nothing was making me satisfied or happy in my entire life, where my results in my golf game were just depending on everything. And
that's not a good place.
No, oh hell no, it's not fun to be there, and fortunately I seek the right help, and I did it the right way. But
talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, last year to this year, I think I've been doing the exact same things. Like, I'm working on the same things in my golf swing and my putting and my chipping, and I can't tell you if there's really much difference there now to back then, but mentally, I was really fortunate started working with Greg Carden and gave him a really, really good shot at it. I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the right way. And the amount of development I've been able to do with him, and how much growth I've had just by having conversations with him. And it's more than anything being honest with yourself, because he's not going to tell you what you have to do. Like, everything depends on you.
He tells me he doesn't really do anything. Okay.
That's not right. It's more about him. He helps you really think outside the box and also see things with clarity, and take ownership of yourself, because if you really do things the right way with them, there won't be bullshit around it. You're just gonna see into a mirror and really think, okay, like, am I really doing things the right way? Why am I doing it this way or that way? Like, it's just been really cool to see more than anything. Just because, it's not only about because I've played better, but like the way I feel in a golf course and how much enjoyment has come back to me just playing golf. It's unbelievable, and that's great.
You said to me, I'll never forget, it was, a few months ago, I was standing in my studio in Mobile, and we were having a talk, and you said, I don't know that I want to play golf anymore.
Yeah.
I said, what the? And I'm just not happy.
Yeah.
I'm miserable whether I play good or bad. And we had a long talk, and I said, like, hey, I think that's outside my realm.
Yeah.
Although I delve into it, and me and you've had plenty of serious talks as friends. You're a student, but you're a friend now. We've been friends a long time. And I think the first step for you becoming the player that you're about to become, and that you're on the road to become, was that you admitted that how you played affected how you felt about yourself.
Yeah.
And the results affected that. Yeah. And I think that's a big step. But what I want you to elaborate on, if you don't mind, because I think it's big. And there's so many coaches out there, and we all have access to mental coaches. And obviously, everybody listens to this knows Greg's a buddy of mine. We've been together with so many players. Like, he did so much good with Smiley and with Lucas and whatever. And he's a great guy. I mean, he's one of my favorite people. But, like, one talk doesn't fix everything. Yeah. And then the fact that even when things are going good, you still need to continue it. And I played a teeny part in this, and I said, hey, I urge you to give it some time and to really do it and talk to him regular. Talk about that, and how was that different, and what's it done?
Yeah.
We're being a little janky because I only brought one microphone, so we're getting it back and forth. That's why it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the best way to answer that is with Greg, the first thing I said to him was, hey, like, I want to do this, but I want to do it right. I don't want to just talk to you when I'm not feeling. I want to talk to you just constantly, just so I'm aware of where I'm at, and yeah, just to be okay with no matter what comes my way, and be as prepared as possible for that. But yeah, I think the thing that I learned the most out of last year, I didn't play very well, being a rookie out of the Korn Ferry Tour. Yeah, is that I only seek for help whenever I thought things were wrong or getting off track, and whenever you get there, it's
Don't
usually...
you think you do the same thing in your golf swing?
Yeah, 100%. I did. I mean, for months I would tell you, dude, I'm hitting it great. I'm just not scoring. Yeah, I'm really close, but then things would just start fading away a little more and a little more. And then out of a sudden, I would just be in trouble, and I would be, hey, T, I really got to go see. Like, yeah. I'm hitting it terrible, you know? And same thing with your putting, or in this scenario, for me, it was my mental side of things. And I realized, okay, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be right. And yeah, I mean, I just found myself a lot in that situation where it felt good for a couple weeks, and then I wouldn't keep doing what I had to do to stay in that place. And I paid the consequences for it, you know? Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really describe it another way, but it's just, yeah, the best way to say it, I guess, is I've been very disciplined, especially start of the year to now, is with being constant and consistent with the work I'm doing in every aspect of my game. Whether it's going out to practice or whatever I'm doing in the gym, or if I'm going to be doing the stuff that I'm working on with Greg, it doesn't matter, but like I have to be constant and consistent with it, because if not, like I'm not giving 100% of my effort, and also I feel like I'm not getting everything out of my own golf game if I'm not doing that.
One of the things I'd like to touch on, well, you've touched on it, is I think where areas where you've grown, and this podcast is kind of going in different directions every second, but I've always been able to be direct with you, yeah. Right? You mentioned that over tacos, soft shell, and sometimes I've told you things you didn't necessarily want to hear, yeah. But I've always believed you've got the ability to be a top 50 player in the world from your skill set and just how I know you. But one of the things I've stressed to you is, like, you've got to, is the ability to stay committed and focused on the things you need to do. And very few people are willing to do it. Very few people want to do it. But we've stayed focused on the same basic 2 or 3 things for basically a couple years now. Yeah. And you've been okay doing that.
Yeah, we were just joking about that while we were working on this afternoon, working in Old Palm, that you're pretty much just giving me different medicine for my symptoms. Like, I'm dealing with the same stuff that we've been working on for the last couple of years, like you said. But the stuff that we're working on deals with the same symptoms, but it's just a little bit of different information or a little bit different perspective to get the stuff that we want to work on. And, it's definitely, I was telling you, and I feel with a lot of peace whenever I work with you now, because I don't go in rants, or even if I don't perform well for a couple weeks, like, I don't go search for stuff and like, this isn't working. What do I have to do to really start playing better again? I'm in a really fortunate place right now where just taking ownership, and I have full, and I don't want to say control, it's more of a very open perspective of seeing things with clarity, and I can solve problems that way. And from there, I can just kind of tick boxes from there. And if I'm doing everything I can to get better every day, like, we play already a hard enough game. Like, there's no reason to make it harder, right? So I think just having that clarity in that aspect is just huge. And it, as I told you, it's just given me a lot of peace.
Peace is good.
Yeah, it's great. And it doesn't guarantee you anything, but it definitely makes you have a lot more fun in the golf course.
All right, so you've had the opportunity. You played a year of Korn Ferry Tour. You've played a bunch of golf on the Mexican Tour down there, which I thought has been fantastic for you. On a side note, and you and I talked a little bit at this dinner, and I've been fortunate enough to be around some of the live stuff, but I think golf globally is getting stronger and better every year, right? And I think that, tours like the Mexican Tour are benefiting from it. I think it's a fantastic way. We just heard from our boy Will McFadden, signed up for Canadian Tour and so forth. So, like, there's more good golf all around the world. But what did you learn about what it takes to be successful from the players you watch? You played with the guys that played great last year, and some of your friends played great. And take a guy like Wilson Furr, right? Yeah. Who I think the world of Wilson, just an all-around great dude. From watching their success, what did you take from that? Did you look at people that had success and say, hey, I could get a little better at this? Or did you say, I don't watch that? I mean, what did you do from the friends, people you knew that had success, got their cards? Did you look at that and take stuff for yourself, or how did you evaluate it?
Yeah, I guess you used a pretty good example. I'm good friends with Wilson, and Wilson had a really good, especially second half of the year. He ended up getting his tour cards from a very slow start to his year, and something that's very impressive what he did. Yeah, just because in the situation he was in. But not only him, but yeah, I think it's very important to just seeing how much simpler they do things. Like whenever they're doing their preparation work for a tournament week, usually they're the guys that spend the least amount of time on the range. They just go and spend their time analyzing how they're going to perform in the golf course, what they're doing in their strategy, what really matters, Mm-hmm. And they're not out there in the range searching for stuff for 4 or 5 hours and, what am I going to do to find that magic piece to hit my perfect tight draw or tight fade every single time? It's not exactly what they were doing. Like Ben Coles was the perfect example last year. He was I'm telling you, he was the guy that I probably saw the least out the entire year. It was unbelievable. Like you'd see him just going through his motion of things, his drills, and he would just go to the golf course, and yeah, that was the last you would see of him. And I mean, look at what he did last year, and he's in a great place now. And if there's anything I learned is that simple doesn't mean a bad thing in golf. It's already hard enough. Make it simpler, but work hard at it still. So, yeah, I mean, that was my biggest takeaway, I think.
Let's talk for a second about, like, just how you manage everything, right? Like, how have you learned over time to manage how you practice your short game? Because I think it's super easy for folks to get out there that think they just got to hit it better.
Yeah.
Right? And I've been hired and fired by people that always think that, right? But, you know, I said to a junior's parent the other day, like, hey, man, like, getting better at the game of golf is, I mean, there's a lot of aspects that go into that. You can hit the ball great and still shoot a score because you don't chip and putt it, right? Right? Yeah. To me, you always hit. I know there's times you don't hit it great, but you hit it plenty good.
Yeah.
How have you learned how important all aspects of the game are, and then how to break apart your practice? Because I think one thing that, you know, a lot of folks listening to you and I, one, they're bored, but two, right? Like, they're golf geeks and nerds and they want to get better. But like, how have you learned how to practice? Because like, I watch you and I, we're standing out there at the tee at Old Palm today and we're hitting some balls and looking down the range. I'm looking at people and they're just all whacking 5 irons and 7 irons as hard as they can. And right, you know, you don't, you know, the practice holes are empty. Nobody chip. How have you learned how to separate your practice? What do you do with, like, what's a good day of practice for you as you approach? Let's take an off week now, because most people will be on an off week, but like an off week, what are you doing in an off week? How do you prepare all parts of your game?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, I think everyone's a little different, and I think with time and with experience, you learn a lot about yourself, but more than anything, in what scenarios you kind of like perform better and what makes you better. But at least for me, I figured that I can do a certain amount of time at like block practice and performance practice, and then from there, I just go and play games at the golf course. It could be 9 holes, and I've been really good about like developing games just to keep me very engaged and involved in what I'm trying to accomplish every day in the golf course. But just in a straight up day, doesn't matter what day it is. Let's say I start off my day, I always just kind of go through the motion of things. I always start my day going to the gym and going through my workout, making sure I get my body moving right, and more than anything, staying injury free. And yeah, start that way every single day. And then from there, I go to the golf course. I always make sure I go through my putting block practice. I always like to do some short putting, performance drill, then a mid-range putting, and then a lag putting. It usually takes me around an hour to go through everything. And then I go to the chipping green, do the exact same stuff, block practice, and then performance, and then range. Same thing. I never, ever, ever hit more than 100 balls in the range.
Wow.
Ever.
Hold on, I got to grab them. So I watch folks, and I watch college players, junior players. I had this guy in at Obama. He's a member, Mitch. Not saying any names, Mitch, though, right? And he rifled through balls faster than, it's like a Pez dispenser. They're coming out, right? And when I'm teaching, you know this from my teaching, I control the ball count a lot, right? Like I'll step on the ball. I'll keep a golf ball in my pocket and throw it out. Like, I think it's important thinking, taking time, having an intent when you do what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Talk about the intent you have with each ball when you're practicing.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I mean, obviously I learned this with you through time, but yeah, I actually have my number. I never exceed 120 golf balls. Ever. That's my number. Yeah.
You count them out?
Yeah. No, I always separate them out every single day. I never go over 120.
Count Spanish?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. Well, I guess that doesn't matter, but
only because we've known each other forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I always separate it in blocks of 20. First block.
That.
Yeah.
Take us through. What are your blocks?
Yeah. First 20 golf balls. I'm already warmed up by then because I always do putting and then chipping. And chipping, whenever you're hitting shots out of the rough and the bunker, you kind of you warm up. And, yep, I'm ready to go and just do my drills in the range and everything I'm trying to work on. And then from there, first 20 golf balls, I go through my drills of my backswing work. Perfect. That takes me.
What are you working on in your backswing?
It's just kind of like how stable I get the club face on the way back, making sure I load my trunk properly, and making sure I have my lower body stable as well with a band around my knees. And that's my main focus. And then the next 20 golf balls, it's the opposite. I go through my follow through and my downswing, making sure like I'm kind of like releasing my chest and my head through the golf ball properly, just having a good feel for that. And then the next 20 golf balls, I get rid of all the technical stuff, and I separate those. It's 21 golf balls in that one. Technically, it's one more, but it's in little stacks of 3. So my first stack of 3 balls, I hit a draw, a fade, and a straight ball to one target. And then I do that same thing in the next stack of 3, but with a mid-flight shot with the same club, just with taking distance off, making sure I can do that while taking some number off. And then I go to another club, and then, yeah, I think the last club I always hit is a 7 wood hitting that shot, because past that, I'm never really trying to really get too picky at the shot I'm trying to hit. I guess what I'm trying to say, I hit more of my stock shot whenever I get so far away from the hole.
I got a question. How do you practice the driver? You're a phenomenal driver of the golf ball. Love the action. I love the way you can, I love that low shot. I try to get as many people as I can to do it. Most of them look at me like I'm nuts. How do you practice the driver? And I love the way you break out that practice plan. Love the way you have the technical broken down. I mean, we've talked a good deal about that. And then you do random practice. We've obviously done a lot with that practice plan, but how do you practice the driver, and what are the type of shots you hit with the driver? Because I think I think your strength when you're playing well, you're a phenomenal wedge player, phenomenal iron player, but like the way you can hit the driver, and I feel like your strength is you can hit the driver on holes that not everybody can hit the driver on those holes.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, you said it properly. I think something that's helped me a lot to grow in my career as well is have a really good understanding of my strengths, and I know I'm a really good wedge player, especially short iron player. Overall, a good iron player. But with the driver, I've developed just a really good understanding of what shots I'm really good at and what shots I'm not. But I've developed a shot that probably goes just past the length of my 3-wood, but close to it. But I know it goes even straighter than my 3-wood. I tee it down pretty low, and I know that I can just hit a pretty low flight with it that just cuts, and it never really gets me in much trouble. I mean, it would be not a very smart thing to do if I would hit it in a really narrow gap, but I can hit that shot in between bunkers a lot if I have to, if I can't carry him whenever I tee it up high. But yeah, just developing shots, especially with the longer clubs, helps you kind of manage yourself around a golf course a lot more. And yeah, I mean, just to develop, and yeah, I mean, having access to more shots, especially off the tee, I think is a huge advantage in that.
I think one thing that amateurs, college players, junior golfers, especially even young pros that I see coming up, is they have one tee shot. Yeah. It's their tee shot swing. They worry about the numbers on their Bushnell Launch Pro, shameless plug, right? But they worry about that. Yeah. And they hit and they look at what the numbers are, speed, blah, 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 rather than where it went. To me, off the tee, you're old school.
Yeah.
I love old school off the tee. We know you can hit it plenty far. Technology's great. Ball's great. Yada, yada, yada. But I think developing a shot that you can hit off the tee that carves or curves or finds its way into play that with repeatability it can do is so valuable. Yeah. Whereas, like, I watch a lot of college guys, and Will McFadden, who we talked about earlier, like, one of the things you got to be able to figure out a way to hit it in play. Yeah. I think that's a huge part of becoming a playing professional, is not just having one shot you hit off the tee.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a great point, and I think everyone learns with experience at the end of the day. But, like, for example, I was just using that as an example about how I've grown and that shot that I developed with time, with teeing it really down. And, I mean, if I have to guess, it carries 260 and it rolls out to 290, and I know what it's going to do every time. And whenever I'm in really under pressure situations, or I know I can't miss it left, because I know I never miss that shot left, I know I can rely on that golf shot. Whenever you're under the gun and you're up against the wall and you there's only one spot you can't hit it on, like, what else are you going to do? Like, yeah, it's cool whenever you can hit that high bomb, 180 ball speed kind of stuff. But, like, whenever you're in that situation, like, yeah, sacrifice 15, 20 yards. It's all right. Like, if you're in the short stuff, you can make some, like, especially knowing my game, I can do the damage with a second shot, and I can give myself a good look for birdie no matter what. And I just have that perspective because, yeah, there's holes whenever I have to really carry a bunker, and it's like, it would be stupid if I tee it down low because I'm just bringing more trouble into it. Yeah, 100%. Like, go for it. And that's whenever you have to go for it. But, like, at least for me, if I'm in a situation where I really got to hit a good tee ball, like, I'm going to do that every single time. And I've developed a really good shot that helps me just put me in a good position for that.
Last question as we wind this down, and this is probably the most serious question of the evening. Probably a year and a half ago, we had a very serious dinner at Rocco's Tacos, and I ordered hard shell tacos. I've always loved hard shell tacos.
I'm never going to forget.
And I ordered 3 hard shell carne asada tacos, and you lost your shit.
Yeah.
I want to hear why you told. Oh, wait, can't forget this. I ordered chips and queso. I want to hear from you why that was not a good order and what's wrong with me.
I wouldn't say that it's wrong with you, but
you're mad at me.
Yeah, I was mad at you because you told me I'm taking you out to dinner to eat some Mexican food. I was like, okay, great. Like, we're going to go eat some authentic Mexican food. So we go out, and as he already spoke about it, he gets that order. And I don't think I've ever been as pissed off at you as I've ever was that time. Like, I just really lost my shit, like you said, and I was like, T, like, that's not Mexican food.
What is it?
Well, I already explained it, but, like, hard shell tacos is not a thing back home. Like,
how am I supposed to know that?
Okay, I've told you plenty.
I've never been back home.
I've told you plenty of times. There's 2 things that is not part of Mexican food. It's more of a Tex-Mex culture. But, like, hard shell is one of them, and queso. And you got both of them in the same night. So how am I not going to get pissed off at you?
It's lucky we survived.
Yeah, that is right.
Well, I'll say this. Tonight, kind of everything came full circle as we're going to tape this. You're staying here at the new crib. You like the new crib?
Yeah, it's sweet. I like it a lot.
Yeah, 706 Club Drive here in PGA, right down here in Palm Beach Gardens, the home of the Dew Sweepers. Went back to Rocco's. I can't say go back to. I go to Rocco's all the time. Sat there with Smiley a week ago. And I ordered the same basic order I ordered then, but with flour tortillas. I feel like I've grown as a human since then. Oh. Emilio, first of all, thanks for the 4 years plus of friendship and of trust and letting me help guide you. But man, I'm looking forward to the future, and I can't possibly thank you for how much you mean to me and for the trust you have in me, and I'm looking forward to watching the future.
No, if there's anyone that should thank you, is me. So thanks, Steve. Appreciate everything.
Hi, this is Tony Ruggiero. And look, recently, several teachers I know and several players have had some scares with skin cancer. In fact, I recently went and saw a dermatologist here in town, and I had a couple things frozen off, eyelid, my face, my earlobe, and not getting any younger. And I know it's getting to that time of the season where it's cooler, but look, being in the sun is a real deal, and I've not been very good, to be totally honest, my whole career at using it at all, because I didn't like how greasy it was, how hard it was to get off your hands, how it clogged up my pores. And then I found this sunscreen, Visor Skincare. It's clear, it goes on, it doesn't dry you out, it isn't greasy, it's like you didn't put anything on it. By far, it's the best sunscreen I've ever used. Without a doubt, is the easiest to use. And we've got a discount code for all of you. All you have to do is go to visorskincare.com, is use our code word DewSweeper. visorskincare.com, code word DewSweeper. I just want to remind everybody something that I forgot. Recently, a couple weeks ago, my wife and I went out. We went to a wedding, and afterwards with some friends, we were like, hey, where's a great place to go? I'll be honest, in my travels and day-to-day, sometimes I get caught up and I forget some of the great places right around the corner. But I got to remind you about the Icebox Bar on 755 Monroe Street. I was blown away by just the whole vibe, the atmosphere, and with the Velvet Pig, the food in the back room, and the big screen TVs up front. We sat there and watched some playoff games. I was blown away by the atmosphere, the vibe, and just how cool it was to have the Icebox Bar right here near the Dew Sweepers downtown, near where I live. You're looking for a great place to go sit, watch some games, hang out, play some pool, you got to go to the Icebox Bar right there on Monroe Street. There's a good chance you'll see all of us hanging out. But do yourself a favor, go visit the Icebox. It's one of the best places out there.